Alright guys, so this is basically my reply to Trevschan2's video about what he would like to see in The Walking Dead Season 4. Now, one of the things that I think would really, really important to The Walking Dead is that we keep it as realistic as possible. Now, the thing is, I want to get this out there, that I freaking love the Governor. He's my favourite character in the whole series. I really think that they should sort of try and keep away from having a big bad guy. Sort of like this man who is sort of like a James Bond / sort of Batman villain. We don't want, honestly, I say we, I mean I. We don't want that because it's like, it sort of gets a bit ridiculous in the end. Like, especially when he had his henchman Martinez with a freaking rocket launcher in the prison, just blowing shit up. It's like, okay, if you're basically sort of saying it's like in the novels where the sort of where Woodbury was originally like an army base or like an army sort of like safe zone, and that's why they got all their badass weapons. That's fair enough, but I'm not sure if that was ever sort of actually said throughout the show. I can understand it, but still, it's still just a little bit too, really. You've got freaking rocket launchers now, really. So that's one thing, the main thing I think we should sort of try and keep. But I still want the Governor because, like I said, I think he's fantastic as a villain. I think he's really cool. I just think that they should sort of downplay this villain sort of ness to him. So if it was up to me, if I was writing The Walking Dead, here's how I would have it, and I would personally try and keep the Governor not in the first part of the I'd say that the Governor should not be in the first part, in the first half of the season. I think it should be Rick and Carl and Michonne, and they need to be sort of looking after these old Woodbury sort of, not prisoners, these Woodbury citizens. And I think that after that, something bad should happen. Something really sort of bad should happen, that they have to leave the prison. But the prison basically just gets crashed down to the floor. We can't live here anymore. I'm not sure, because there was that open part. There was a part that was really, exposed to, to the wilderness. And that's how Tyrese and Sasha and, Prickface and his son managed to get in. So that, I think, that'd be awesome. So I think that they should leave the prison by the end of it, because I agree with what Trevschan said when he goes about we shouldn't keep to the prison for too long. Like one season, like over a season, I think is too much. Like, it's not the same with the barn. It was awesome, but it's not. We shouldn't be carrying on forever. It shouldn't be like the Walking Dead prison fucking thing. I think it would get annoying by the end of it. So come on, just go somewhere else. Now, what Trev said is that he would like it if the save lot, is it save lot, a save spa? I'm not sure. The save something. We don't have that in Britain, and like, they're the supermarket basically. And I really disagree, because I think that supermarkets are so cliched in zombie. In zombie films and games and all that. And like if you ever see I think it's an Onigi parody of Left 4 Dead, Left 4 Speed 2, where he goes, a mall, how original. And I agree. What we shouldn't. And why does it have to be malls all the time? So yeah, I would hate it if there was a mall. I think that would really get on my nerves. But as for the Governor, I think, like I said, I think the prison should come down and they would have to be out in the wilderness. Now, that would also leave a massive big problem for Rick. Basically, the prison's down. Where's their fortification? They've now got all these freaking Woodbury survivors. What are they going to do with them? How are we going to be able to feed these people? Especially now that there's no roof over their heads. See, I just think that'd be such a good thing for the good direction for The Walking Dead to go. Now, as for the Governor, You know, like I think I said it about 3 times now. So after this goes down, after this prison goes down, and they're sort of out in the wilderness, and he's trying to feed. I'm not sure if I'm the only one to think of this, but I thought it was quite cool. Wouldn't it be awesome if in the second part of the season, the the governor, Martinez and Shumpert, as well possibly as well as with a couple other people, come back and are the hunters. Yeah, see, I thought it would be awesome. See, if the governor had gone off with Martinez and Shumpert and maybe found these other people, they'd get hungry possibly. See, I thought it'd be awesome. It's a great way to sort of bring back in the governor, but sort of shooting down two birds with one stone. Get as well as the hunters, because I think that the hunters were awesome. Also, it leads back to sort of what I was saying before. I think that one of the most important things is realism, and to have these sort of moral dilemmas, sort of these moral sort of things that make you think, oh my god, I can't believe that. Oh, that's awesome. And I thought that that the hunters really were that. I thought that when not Chris, the leader of the hunters is there and he's crying, he's begging for for Rick to sort of let him go, and Rick just kills him. Then Rick, Michonne, and Abraham are just there slaughtering the hunters, and he's there and he's crying and he's begging. And then there's what's his name, the priest, Father Gabriel, and he's there watching it horror and crying. And I thought if I was in the same situation as Rick at that point, I'd get rid of the hunters, I'd kill the hunters. But that was one of the most disturbing things, at least for me, in The Walking Dead. Even more so than Negan and what happens with him and Glenn, because I thought Negan was hilarious. So anyway, back to season 4. So I thought it'd be awesome for Rick to come across the governor again as one of the hunters, or maybe not even necessarily the leader, but sort of joined up with the hunters, because he would bring back that whole sort of moral dilemma. Like, oh god, he's eating people. He's gone so absolutely nuts that he's eating people. And I think that is just the thing that The Walking Dead needs, to sort of get away from that whole cartoonish sort of, yeah, I'm the bad villain guy that the governor had earlier, with the eye patch. Even now, I think the eye patch looks a bit stupid, because I sort of get where they're coming from, but he just looks like such a stereotypical bad guy. But like I said, love the governor. I think he's fantastic. David Morrissey does a great job. And I think that what season 2 had going for this was that there was this whole sort of moral thing going on with Shane, sort of being like, he's sort of good but bad. He's done horrible things, but are they justified for the greater good? And I think that this is the thing that The Walking Dead does fantastically, especially in season 2. Did it in season 3 with with the governor, not nearly as well as season 2. So I think that, just to summarise, basically what I'd like is the governor to become less cartoonish. No save lot. I want the mall, those images of the mall that we saw, to be temporary, very, very, very temporary. Maybe just like because there was also that image of Rick, who's in the forest, and there was that walker behind him, and that's not like to say, oh look, he's in a forest. Ooh, now The Walking Dead's going to be set in the forest again. We're not going to be living like, that doesn't necessarily mean that. I hope that the save flat thing was basically just a quick snap. Although to be fair, I haven't seen the images. Probably should have done that actually before before making this video. But I do hope that they're not in the save lots. That the governor comes back either as a hunter, or just something that sort of brings back this whole moral dilemma thing that... Oh, my computer's turned off. Or this whole moral dilemma thing that The Walking Dead did so brilliantly. And... trying to think what else would be good. Obviously, I like to bring in Gabriel Stokes, Abraham Ford. You know, I mean, but I think, is it Bob? Is it the guy? Is that what his name is? Roy Stark, isn't it? Isn't he coming back in? I don't know. I didn't really like, Bob in the comics. He got on my tits a bit. But yeah, I really hope that. Although, to be fair, I just realised, looking back on it as I'm talking about this, I think that, although it would be awesome for the Hunters to be in season 4, is it rushing it a bit? Because it's only a couple it's only a couple issues afterwards that it's we're at the Alexandria safe zone, and only a couple issues that it's Negan, only a couple of issues that, oh wait, look where we are, we've literally outrun the comics because we went so bloody fast. I think that, and I know we're on about season 4, but I think what they should have done in season 3 was what to have Thomas, as a this sort of serial killer type person, instead of being in for 2 episodes and then dies. But getting off topic, and I should really wrap this up now. Hopefully that's what's going to happen. Almost definitely won't, because let's be honest, why would they do that, to be honest? But I just think it'd be nice. I'd like it personally, because I thought that Chris and the Hunters were awesome, if freaking terrifying. And I just think it'd be a great place for them to go. Although, obviously, I know I'm going to be completely in a minority on this. I know most people are going to go, oh, no, that's a terrible idea. Oh, why would you do that? That's stupid. That's moronic. That's utterly ridiculous. But, so that's my predictions for The Walking Dead Season 4. Hopefully, and by that I mean it definitely won't happen, but hopefully it'll happen. Thanks for listening.